3, 4, 5 red lights in Monte Carlo. They go out, and we're underway with Larim Zendelli leading Jack Aitken off the line. Good getaway for Arthur Leclerc. Will have an opportunity to move up. Is he going to send it to the inside? Will they all get through turn number 1? Arthur, no, they will just about. No, spoke too soon. Absolute chaos at the back. Absolute chaos at the back with Ollie Caldwell involved there. Davide Valsecchi racing for his team Dams has managed to keep going. NM Ahmed was involved in that one as well. There's a 5-second penalty for Dan Ticktum for a collision, but it's Larim Zendelli who is in the lead, but will he be for much longer? Zendelli, Leclerc, Delatraz, Aitken, and then Theo Pourchaire going up. It's very close between the ART there, and that was Caelan Williams and Theo Pourchaire somehow not taking each other out. Well, if this is a preview of what we've got to come for the next 2 laps, it is going to be frenetic stuff. A wild opening lap there. Now, can he overtake at the hairpin on board with the Prema?
Delatraz on the outside.
Oh, is Delatraz going to be able to sneak through? He is. He's got the inside line. Can he make the move into Portier? Would be a bold move for 2nd place. And how about that? Louis Delatraz up into the position he finished the sprint race in 1 year ago. And Delatraz moves up to 2nd. Arthur Leclerc demoted for the time being, but they're going to be racing all the way through here. And Jack Aitken is closing in as well and getting the chop. But has he got the momentum? Has he got the position? Yes, he has. Jack Aitken using the barrier, but moving ahead. And Arthur Leclerc, after staring at the race lead, tumbles down to 4th position. But he's taking a lot of curb there. They bang wheels. And still, Aitken stays ahead.
There's just nudging, bumping, barging, and oh, now Jack's the one a little bit out of shape. Can Arthur Leclerc get the run, or is that Theo Pourchaire?
Oh, Theo Pourchaire's got the inside, and Arthur Leclerc, with a really frustrating set of laps, has gone from battling for the race lead to heading backwards. You're looking at the battle for 4th position, with Arthur Leclerc, the Monegasque driver, on his home circuit, chasing Theo Pourchaire, and now he's taken a big chunk of curb and got track position. This gaggle of drivers all on the purple wool tyre will be thinking of when they're going to make their stops.
Traffic is going to be key around these pit stops. I'm really quite intrigued. Yeah, there you go. Delatraz, Jack Aitken and Arthur Leclerc all into the pits at the end of lap 7. Zendelli, of course, carries on because he's on the harder, soft compound tyre. Oh, my goodness me, Jack. Where are you off to there, mate? Oh, that's going to be close. And that was very rude from Jack Aitken. I reckon if there were some active stewards, I think Jack would be getting some sort of slap on the wrist there.
And Aitken now having to make a dicey move. You can see the mess you can get caught up in. And Jack Aitken's got a big gap there. It looked like he might be about to be put in the wall, but instead of that, it's Aitken now with a little bit of a gap to Arthur Leclerc.
I'd love to actually also get a counter of how many love taps Arthur Leclerc has given Jack Aitken, because I think there's no love there. I can tell you that in terms of the taps. He's just trying to unsettle that car wherever he possibly can into the braking zone. This is exactly what Jack Aitken did, and Arthur Leclerc could have a very good opportunity into turn 1, but Jack's got the inside line.
He doesn't want to go the long way round, does he? And he knew that he was in the wrong part there. It's going to cost him a position in the wrong part of the racetrack. Had to use the momentum, knew the space was going to disappear. Nothing really he could do. Aitken defending the position, Pourchaire up to 4th, and Arthur Leclerc now down to 5th place. Can Zendelli get out ahead of Louis Delatraz? This was the real thing. I think it would be incredibly close, about 19 seconds. I expect Delatraz will go through. He will go through into the lead. So Delatraz now needs to show the defensive side of his driving. Oh, he's deep though. And you saw Zendelli almost got sucked into going deep as well. That is so easy to do. It almost becomes hypnotic when you're having to do lap after lap, and there was an opportunity there for Zendelli, who is right on the gearbox.
Mistakes creeping in for Zendelli, I was about to say.
And that's pushing, that's having to apply the pressure. So consistent for so many laps, but a few wide moments, and look at the gap. 2.8 seconds, so frustrating. Larim Zendelli, in 2nd place. Is he still in 2nd place? The message coming up that he'd left the session.
And he's now in the pit.
He's now in the pit. And poor old Larim Zendelli, after a superb run, And we were hoping for a grandstand finish, not quite worked out, and Louis Delatraz just has to bring it home without cutting any corners. And these two are going to provide all of the entertainment on the last lap as Leclerc tries to turn third into second.
Surely there's going to be one move there where he just absolutely
he's going for it! He's going for it, risks it, into Mirabeau, side by side, down the hill they go. Oh, you can't go the long way round there. He's just having to wait for the opportunity. That's nicely done. Here we go. Down the hill. Will the Prema send it? Tried to. Oh, he spun! He spun round! He spun himself off the podium! The rear wheel tags the inside barrier, and Jack Aitken goes back onto the podium, and Louis Delatraz has one corner to go, and he was second last year, but virtually this year it's going to be first place on the streets of Monte Carlo. The Swiss driver wins, Louis Delatraz in P1, and Aitken gets second place. Théo Pourchaire, when you add on the penalties, down to third. Time for the second 5-lap sprint race. The drivers at the front ready to go. Here we go. It's Juan Manuel Correa on the left from pole position, Kaylen Williams on the right, and Arthur Leclerc immediately putting pressure on them. It's Kaylen Williams into the lead momentarily. Now wait for it. Do they all get through? They do all get through. So Juan Manuel Correa has held the lead, and it's Kaylen Williams in second place for the moment. Arthur Leclerc trying to do something about that. And we've got a spin there, heading backwards is the ART, so it's a mess behind, but maintaining the lead. Correa, Leclerc desperate to take a win at his home event. Williams down to third, Théo Pourchaire fourth, in Aitken, Delatraz, Dragovic and Ilott. And there was an ART going backwards there for a long time. So I assume that's Marcus Armstrong.
I hope they don't do this in the virtual GP as well, but clearly with no damage, although I think in the virtual GP we'll have reduced damage. With no damage, these guys are hurtling into that hairpin and wall-banging all the way round, which is obviously an interesting tactic and one that you wouldn't do in real life.
There he is, the American driver, Juan Manuel Correa.
Well, that's going to be close.
Oh, he's thinking about trying to go round, wheel-banging for the lead of the race, this second race, and he's stayed ahead, and he's in a very similar situation. Arthur Leclerc now, he has the pace to win here, but he's got to make the move in the right place, because if not, Kaylen Williams is just waiting.
Leclerc, as we saw in the previous one, we're going to see a move from him. We know it's coming, we just don't know where, and neither does Correa.
There it is! It's going to be here! He's half spun again! Correa able to stay ahead. And that gives him a little bit of momentum. This will be really difficult for Leclerc to close down the gap around the final 2 miles as we go on to the final lap of the race. Correa, Leclerc, Williams, oh, he's spun, he's gone round. And he's managed to gather it together. Louis Delatraz now has a good opportunity to put 2 Charouz cars on the podium. It's all about...
Oh, Correa gets a 2-second penalty!
No! Juan Manuel Correa gets the 2-second penalty. And Arthur Leclerc just needs to avoid getting the same thing at this corner of the racetrack.
Does he know, though? Oh, he gets another one, Correa.
Oh, Correa gets a second one, and your heart sinks for him. There's so much grit and determination. He'll come across the line, but when the penalty is applied, unless we've missed one from Leclerc, it's going to be Leclerc who takes the win. And it is Arthur Leclerc who takes the win at his home track to win for the 3rd time this year. And Juan Manuel Correa, with the penalty applied, still on the podium, but he'll be frustrated to put in all of that effort. The penalty's coming late once again.